Leo always felt a magnetic pull toward the night sky. As a young boy growing up in a small Midwestern town, he would lie on the dew-kissed grass outside his family's farmhouse, eyes stretched wide open to embrace the tapestry of twinkling, eternal lights. Every star whispered a secret promise that somewhere out there, adventures beyond the confines of Earth's dusty plains awaited his daring spirit. On those slow, hushed nights, Leo learned to weave stories about constellations and mythical heroes. His grandmother, a gentle storyteller with a past wrapped in mysteries and old folk songs, recounted legends of daring travelers who soared on silver wings across celestial seas. "One day, my dear," she would say, pressing an old dog-eared astronomy book into his hands, "the sky will call you to a destiny that burns brighter than any single star." Leo absorbed each word as if it were a sacred decree. The idea that the cosmos could be touched with one's own hands filled him with both wonder and an unwavering resolve. School days were punctuated with moments when Leo, though seemingly ordinary in his classroom, gazed longingly toward the window. His teachers noted how his eyes drifted from endless arithmetic and history lessons, focusing instead on that same transcendent sky. Even as the world around him thrummed with the predictable buzz of everyday life, his inner heart soared among nebulas and distant galaxies. Every night, he scribbled ideas in notebooks brimming with sketches of interstellar vessels and fantastical diagrams of space stations, convinced that one day his dreams would break free of the Earth's gravity. On the night of his 16th birthday, the sky turned strangely melodic. Leo had just returned from a typical day at school that had been filled with calculus problems and half-hearted conversations with friends about mundane teenage worries. But as twilight folded itself into the coming darkness, an electric charge suspended in the air, almost palpable in its intensity. His heart beat out an erratic rhythm, resonating with the vibrations of that fateful hour. While Leo reclined on the outskirts of his town, he noticed a phenomenon he had never seen before. A luminous column of light slowly descended from the heavens. At first a delicate beam, then a mighty pillar that carved a clear path between the stars and the earth. The light shimmered with colors he had only heard of in his wildest dreams. Iridescent blues melding with pinks and greens, like the aurora on a frozen winter night. Without fear, even with the crisp autumn air sending shivers down his spine, Leo felt inexplicably serene and ready for whatever mystery was unfolding before him. As if summoned by destiny, an emissary emerged from the radiant glow, cloaked in garments that billowed like cosmic winds and were adorned with symbols that hinted at galaxies far beyond human ken. The figure paused before Leo. "I come on behalf of the people of Ilyrion," the emissary said in a voice that resonated like a solstice bell. "For many generations, we have watched your kind from afar, in search of one whose bloodline carries the spark of an ancient legacy. A key hidden within human DNA that appears but once in a millennium." Stunned but mesmerized, Leo felt a warmth in his chest, an intuition that this moment was the culmination of his secret, lifelong yearning to journey amongst the stars. The message was clear. His destiny was intertwined with the fate of a world beyond Earth. In that surreal exchange, the cosmos whispered that his dreams, once confined to fevered sketches and secret journal entries, were no longer mere illusions. They were the herald of an extraordinary calling. In the days that followed that magical encounter, Leo's every moment was suffused with a newfound purpose. His family, initially bewildered by his reticence and dreams of existence beyond Earth, slowly came to understand that something profound had touched him. His father, a stoic man with quiet pride hidden behind furrowed brows, found his boy spent hours poring over ancient astronomical texts and revisiting myths once relegated to bedtime stories. His mother, ever gentle and supportive, nurtured Leo's wonder with warmth and an unyielding faith that the universe always has a plan for its seekers. At school, Leo's mind was consumed by questions. What did the emissary mean by the spark of an ancient legacy? What mysteries lay hidden within his own DNA? Late at night, he pored over genetic lore and old family records, discovering hints of an ancestry interwoven with both myth and history. Whispers of ancestors who once traversed great distances, honored with celestial symbols and the relics left behind, finally began to make sense. Could it be that long ago, a portion of his bloodline had been touched by cosmic fate? A transference of alien intuition and knowledge, instilled into select souls to guide humanity forward? One crisp autumn evening, Leo visited the local library, a venerable structure filled with the musky scent of aging paper and dust. There, behind stacks of ancient tomes and faded maps detailing uncharted territories, he uncovered an almost forgotten treatise. Its pages suggested that every 1,000 years, a human would be born who bore a genetic marker that resonated with interstellar frequencies. A silent beacon designed to interact with cosmic empires far beyond Earth. The treatise's cryptic language hinted that this phenomenon was not the work of science alone, but of destiny and interconnected threads of cosmic history. Leo's pulse quickened as he realized that his life, his dreams, and the mysterious visitor from the night sky might be pieces of one grand, universal puzzle. With every passing day, Leo's latent talents began to manifest in ways that defied explanation. He could intuitively grasp complex concepts in mathematics and astrophysics that even his most esteemed teachers found challenging. At times, he would glimpse brief flashes of images. Vast, serene star fields and futuristic cities gleaming under alien suns that seemed to be more than mere daydreams, but memories from a life not lived on Earth. His mind danced along the edge of two worlds, that of an ordinary teenager and that of a burgeoning cosmic envoy, bridging the gap between human limitations and interstellar wonder. A few weeks after the luminous visitation, the skies above Leo glowed again with an otherworldly brilliance. This time, it was not a solitary beam of light, but a fleet. A harmonious constellation of shimmering vessels gracefully descending over a vast, open field on the edge of town. News spread like wildfire. Townspeople gathered in small clusters, enveloped by equal parts awe and trepidation, as a celestial armada whispered promises of secrets beyond mortal ken. At the forefront of this spectacular procession was the emissary from Ilyrion, now accompanied by a cadre of dignified beings with luminous eyes and an air of cosmic wisdom about them. They communicated through gentle telepathy, words flowing directly into the hearts of the assembled listeners, urging calm and trust. Their message was unequivocal. The civilization of Ilyrion had chosen Leo as the one whose rare genetic signature could activate an ancient technology critical to saving their rapidly dying world. It was decided that Leo, no longer just a boy but a bearer of extraordinary potential, will be taken aboard their flagship for an audience with their elders. This selection was based not solely on scientific analysis, but on the undeniable radiance of his spirit, his kindness, and his intrinsic wonder for the universe. Before he departed, the emissary gently pressed a small, crystal-like device into his hand. "This vessel is an heirloom from our ancient lineage," the emissary intoned, "and it will help you navigate the journey that lies ahead. Trust in its guidance, as you must trust in yourself." That night, as Leo lay awake in his room filled with sketches of rockets and schematics of abstract starships, the weight of destiny pressed gently upon his heart. He was standing on the threshold of a venture that transcended the boundaries of human history, his very DNA intricately woven with the salvation of a world light years away. Torn between the love for his earthbound family and the irresistible call of the cosmic unknown, Leo resolved that his journey could not be denied. The stars, it seemed, had long awaited his arrival. In the early hours of a crisp, starlit morning, Leo found himself standing before a wondrous sight. A sprawling spacecraft that shimmered like a diamond in the dew of dawn, its hull etched with patterns that mimicked the swirling galaxies above. Around him gathered a small group of scientists, engineers, and emissaries from Ilyrion. each selected for their unique skills and profound belief in the union of human potential with cosmic wisdom. As his parents bid him farewell, with tearful smiles and hearts heavy with both pride and sorrow, Leo felt the glow of purpose illuminate even the darkest corners of his soul. His father clasped his shoulder, murmuring, "You were always meant for greatness, son. Go, and let the stars be your guide." His mother's eyes were pools of hope and worry intertwined. "Remember who you are, and know that love binds you to home, no matter how far you wander," she whispered. Stepping aboard the craft felt like crossing a threshold from one existence to another. The interior was a blend of elegantly simple architecture and advanced technology, a medley of materials that radiated both warmth and a futuristic gleam. The emissaries and scientists explained that the journey would take him across interstellar distances in a matter of days by harnessing dimensions and energy fields that defied ordinary physics. Though part of Leo trembled at the thought of leaving everything familiar behind, another part rejoiced at the promise of uncharted adventures and cosmic revelations. Before the ship's engines roared to life, Leo was led to a quiet chamber where the ancient crystal device awaited him on a pedestal of polished stone. Its pulsing light was eerily reminiscent of the beat of his own heart, steady, constant, and filled with a promise of infinite journeys. "This," an Ilyrion elder said softly as he appeared beside Leo, "is the conduit. It is connected to the reservoir of your genetic legacy. Once awakened, it will open portals to both memory and distant worlds. It is the key that will allow you to merge with our technology and carry forth the hope of our people." In that moment, as Leo placed his trembling hand upon the conduit, he felt a spark, a surge of energy that reverberated throughout his very being. The sensation was both exhilarating and humbling. As if for the first time, his dreams were no longer distant fantasies etched in lonely nights. They were a waking truth, calling him to step forth and unite with a cosmic destiny. With a deep, resolute breath, Leo accepted the call, knowing that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, discovery, and a transformation that would forever alter his place in the universe. The voyage aboard the flagship was unlike anything Leo had ever imagined. The ship glided through the cosmos with an almost liquid grace, traversing wormholes and energy-laden corridors that bent the very fabric of time. Each moment was a breathtaking revelation. Dazzling novas burst into ephemeral existence. Vast nebulae glowed with the soft luminescence of ancient creation, and star clusters spread out like the scattered jewels of a long-forgotten crown. During these interstellar passages, Leo found himself in constant dialogue with both the technology of Ilyrion and his own awakening mind. The conduit, which had once been a silent artifact, now hummed with gentle guidance, a melodic pulse that tapped into the deep reservoirs of his heritage. In dreams, he saw flashes of a time when his ancestors had communed with starlight and secrets beyond mortal reach, and during waking hours, he communed with holographic archives revealing the history of a civilization on the brink of collapse. In quiet moments aboard the vessel, Leo formed bonds with the Ilyrion crew. One of the scientists, a slender figure named Ilyrion, shared with him insights into the technology that allowed their starship to defy space and time. "Our technology," Ilyrion explained one evening as they peered through panoramic observation windows, "was seeded long ago when our ancestors reached out to kindred spirits among the stars. Now we have returned that call. Your existence is the final link in a chain that spans millennia, a chain built not of metal, but of hope, destiny, and cosmic resonance." The days bled into nights as the journey progressed, and the universe unfurled its splendor before Leo's eyes. Each celestial vista imparted lessons in humility and wonder. As he marveled at light years of history embodied in every pulsating star, he sensed an internal metamorphosis. His once solitary dreams, confined to a boy's imaginative sketches, now embarked on a profound dialogue with the cosmos. In every burst of cosmic light, he saw echoes of his struggles and triumphs. The scars of life on Earth, the warmth of his family's love, and the unyielding spark of possibility nestled within DNA that carried the secrets of thousands of years. After what felt like an eternity of both inner awakening and interstellar travel, the flagship finally emerged from the shimmering veil of a hyperspace corridor toward a planet unlike anything Leo had ever seen. The orb, suspended in the ink-black darkness, pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly light. This world, called Lysanth by its people, teetered on the brink of destruction. Its swirling atmosphere, punctuated by roaming storms and a sickly glow, spoke of a civilization in desperate need of rescue. The Ilyrion emissaries guided Leo through the intricate corridors of their vessel until they reached a vast hall filled with holographic depictions of Lysanth. There, the High Council, the keepers of ancient wisdom, awaited him. Their leader, a wise and compassionate being known as Velis, addressed him in a tone that bridged both solemnity and renewed hope. Leo, Velis began, your genetic essence carries the ancestral spark that once united our peoples. Our civilization's flourishing was entrusted to beings of your unique heritage, a descendant of cosmic voyagers whose legacy resonates once every 1,000 years. But now, our world is suffocating under its own malaise. Our energy sources are dwindling, and our planetary systems are unbalanced. Only the union of your unique DNA with our ancient technology can awaken the dormant energies needed to restore our habitat. The Council explained that the very core of Lysanth was powered by a bioenergetic matrix, a living network that weaved together the natural energies of the planet with the ancient technologies of their forebears. Over centuries, the matrix had grown unstable, its intricate balance fraying under the relentless pressures of technology run amok in cosmic disruptions. Leo's DNA contained the harmonizing frequencies that they believed could recalibrate the matrix. He was not merely an observer of the stars. He was the catalyst for their salvation. Torn between the gravity of responsibility and the thrill of fulfilling a dream he had nurtured since childhood, Leo listened intently as Velis continued. Your journey was written not just in stardust, but in the fabric of destiny. The connection in your blood is a gift, a key that unlocks the unknown and revives the ancient pact between our worlds. Embrace it, and the legacy of your ancestors will shine forth as a beacon of renewal for Lysanth. In that moment, Leo felt the weight of history and hope converge in his heart. The mission was colossal, a task that defied simple logic and yet pulsed with the promise of cosmic rebirth. It was a call to be more than the boy who once lay gazing at the heavens in awe. Now, he was to be the savior of a civilization, the living embodiment of a rare genetic tapestry interlaced with the wisdom of the cosmos. With the approval of the High Council, preparations began for a delicate and auspicious procedure. Deep within the flagship's inner sanctum, a chamber of crystalline arrays awaited. Here, the conduit was to be interfaced directly with Leo. The room pulsed with gentle luminescence and resonant vibrations, as if acknowledging the profound intersection of technology and life itself. Encircled by emissaries and scientists whose eyes glowed with hope, Leo lay within a reclining chamber. Ayler and Velis supervised the delicate operation, ensuring that each pulse of the conduit resonated with the patterned frequencies embedded within Leo. The procedure was part ritual, part scientific marvel, a fusion of ancient tradition and futuristic engineering. As the conduit began to hum at a crescendo, strands of light emerged from the device, gently wrapping around Leo's outstretched arms and then coalescing around his torso like a luminous embrace. For a brief eternity, time seemed to pause as memories, not of his own, flooded his consciousness. He saw visions of a lineage stretching back to the first cosmic travelers, men and women who had vowed to safeguard the balance of worlds. In those visions, Leo recognized echoes of his own struggles, his own longing to transcend the ordinary. Every cell in his body pulsed with an awakening rhythm, a symphony in which the notes of ancient wisdom danced with the promise of future rebirth. The energy coursing through him was overwhelming, yet comforting, as if the universe itself whispered assurances amongst the chaos of light. With each vibration of the conduit, Leo felt himself being reshaped into something greater than his previous self, a bridge between humanity and a cosmic civilization in dire need of renewal. The device recorded and interpreted every nuance of his genetic signal, transmitting it to the Ilyrion tech network, which in turn began reconfiguring parts of the Lysanth matrix in real time. At that moment, Leo transcended boundaries. He became a living integrator, a being who would merge his human essence with alien technological genius to restore harmony to a planet on the verge of collapse. The bond was not merely a technical link. It was the blossoming of a spiritual oneness between distant worlds. For Leo, every fiber of his being resonated with the music of the cosmos, echoing a destiny that was as old as time and yet as vibrant as the new dawn. Yet, even as the bond was sealed and the promise of renewal gleamed on the horizon, the challenges that lay ahead were formidable. The process that activated Leo's genetic potential was as unpredictable as the vast abyss of space. In the following days aboard the flagship, he experienced physical and emotional turbulence, a veritable storm of internal conflicts that mirrored the cosmic maelstrom surrounding Lysanth. During long sessions in the ship's meditation alcove, Leo battled waves of doubt. He struggled with the fear that he was not enough, that a single person, however gifted, could not possibly hold the key to an entire civilization's salvation. The operations team, ever watchful, monitored his vitals as the energy coursed through him like torrents of stardust. At times, his body trembled under the intensity of a connection that defied the limits of human endurance, and moments of near collapse became tests of resolve that warmed his spirit even as they scorched his nerves. In one particularly taxing session, Leo found himself alone in an observation dome. The dome's glass walls revealed a breathtaking panorama of distant galaxies and shimmering cosmic highways. Here, he allowed his thoughts to flow freely. What if I am merely a vessel? A spark borrowed from an ancient fire, he murmured to the void. But then, in the silent waiting of space, another echo answered, a memory of his grandmother's words and the unwavering belief that every challenge was simply an invitation for growth. Drawing strength from that inner reservoir of hope, Leo vowed to embrace the turbulence as a necessary challenge along his path, and gradually he began to harness the surging power within him in measured, deliberate ways. This inner journey was paralleled by external challenges as well. As the Ilyrion engineers attempted to recalibrate Lysanth's unstable bioenergetic network, they encountered unforeseen obstacles. A cascade of energy surges, malfunctioning nodes, and even the echoes of past failures embedded in the ancient technology. Leo, now integral to the recalibration process, was called upon to interact directly with the Matrix. With concentrated resolve, he entered a specially designed interface chamber aboard the flagship. Floating within a translucent sphere of bioluminescent energy, he found himself connected not only to the conduit, but to the very heart of Lysanth's failing core. In that surreal moment, as Leo's consciousness expanded to encompass the energies of an entire planet, he felt the desperation and hope of an entire civilization. The Matrix pulsed erratically, as if echoing the collective heartbeat of Lysanth's inhabitants. Leo's mind reached out, mapping the energetic flux and intertwining it with the learned lessons embedded deep in his DNA. Gradually, like an expert tuner adjusting a cosmic instrument, he orchestrated a symphony of frequencies that began the slow process of healing the Matrix. His efforts were not instantaneous. Each success came with setbacks. Each moment of clarity was hard-earned. But with every trial, Leo regained confidence, emerging stronger and more intimately connected with the celestial tapestry. Through these trials, a transformation took place. Leo discovered that his initial weakness, his uncertainty, had given way to a confident embrace of his role as an interstellar mediator. In that crucible of cosmic conflict, his dreams matured into a living truth. The very qualities that had once made him a timid stargazer now powered him to become the beacon of hope for an entire world. As the days stretched into weeks, slow but steady progress revealed itself. The Matrix, once a chaotic storm of unruly energy, began to stabilize under the careful ministrations of the alliance between Leo's awakened potential and the ancient Ilyrion technology. Holographic images across the flagship depicted changes on Lysanth. Swirling mists of violet and turquoise replaced the sickly haze, and streams of controlled energy flowed through the planet's networks like lifeblood returning to a parched land. In a grand assembly convened on board the flagship, the High Council and Illyrian elders gathered to witness the fruit of Leo's transformation. Velis, his voice imbued with a serene pride, addressed the assembly. "Today, you bear witness to the rebirth of our home, a testament to the unity of worlds, the merging of ancient legacies, and the unwavering courage of a boy who dared to dream. Leo, you have become more than human. You are the living conduit of hope and renewal." In that memorable moment, the alien audience expressed their gratitude through silent, reverberating harmonies that resonated through the corridors of the vessel. Leo, overwhelmed by emotion, could no longer contain the tearful joy that welled in him. He recalled his lonely nights beneath the gentle gaze of the stars, the whispered promises of a destiny yet to be fulfilled. The realization struck him with the full breadth of its wonder. His journey from a small-town dreamer to a savior of worlds was the fulfillment of a fate woven into the very fabric of his soul. As the bond between Leo and Lysantha's matrix solidified, the planet itself seemed to breathe a deep, rejuvenating sigh. Technological nodes glowed steadily, and the energy lines that once flickered with uncertainty merged into a harmonious grid. A luminous network bridging the gap between the ancient wisdom of Ilyrion and the modern ingenuity of Earth. In that radiant convergence, both worlds found hope for a future where pain could be healed and a legacy of light passed on to future generations. In a heartfelt ceremony held beneath the star-strewn skies of Lysantha's twilight, the people of Ilyrion conferred upon Leo a title that carried the weight of centuries, the Celestial Bridge. It resonated not as a mere honorific, but as a living promise that every dream kindled in the heart of a human could fuel a cosmic journey of redemption and unity. Leo's once timid heart now burned with the fire of purpose, illuminated by the revival of a planet that had almost been lost to darkness. Though his mission had brought a new dawn to a world light years away, Leo never forgot his origin. In his heart, he carried with him the warm memories of moonlit nights in his hometown, the gentle hum of his mother's lullabies, and the steady reassurance of his father's faith. These recollections enriched the interstellar relationships he nurtured, reminding him that while the universe was vast and mysterious, home was where identity and love resided. In subsequent months, as unity between Earth and Ilyrion blossomed, technological exchanges flourished. Scholars, engineers, and visionaries from both civilizations collaborated, merging Earth's ingenuity with Illyrion's ancient cosmic technologies to ensure that both planets could thrive in harmony. Leo, with his unique genetic affinity and the deep, resonant bond he shared with the conduit, acted as the ambassador in these exchanges. He would travel between Earth and Lysanth, bridging cultural divides and inspiring new generations to look beyond borders into the realm of the infinite. On one memorable visit back to Earth, Leo was invited to speak at a grand assembly of scientists, artists, and dreamers. Standing before an audience that radiated curiosity and hope, he recounted his journey from a small, starlit town to the marvels of a distant civilization, from the trials of an awakening heart to the healing of an entire world. His speech, delivered with a voice both gentle and resolute, became the catalyst for a new era of space exploration and cosmic understanding. People began to see the universe not as a cold expanse of isolated stars, but as a vibrant tapestry of shared destinies, each spark a reminder of the potential for unity, growth, and transcendence. In his final address at that historic assembly, Leo concluded, "Our dreams are not confined to what is here or what is now. They are etched into the fabric of the cosmos, a timeless testament to every heart that dares to believe in possibility. Let us journey not just through space, but through life together, carrying within us the light of every star, every story, and every hope for a tomorrow that glows with the promise of unity." The applause that followed was not only a celebration of one man's achievement, but the affirmation of a shared dream, a collective yearning to touch the stars, and, in doing so, to realize the best of who we all might be. The legacy of Leo's transformation continued to ripple outward for generations. On Lysanth, a monument was erected in his honor, a radiant obelisk encapsulated in living crystal that pulsed in time with the heartbeat of the renewed planetary matrix. It stood as a symbol of resilience, of a promise fulfilled under the infinite skies, and of the enduring potential of dreams once deemed impossible. Years later, when the time came for Leo to embrace yet another phase of his cosmic odyssey, he did so without hesitation. The union of his DNA with the ancient conduit had unlocked abilities beyond mortal measure. He learned to traverse the intricate network of cosmic energies at will, a living guide through the realms of dark matter, nebulous worlds, and even dimensions yet unnamed. As he ventured deeper into these uncharted territories, he encountered civilizations whose wisdom rivaled that of ancient legends and landscapes of cosmic wonder that defied imagination. Each voyage deepened his understanding of the universe and the interconnected nature of all life, be it human or alien. In the silent stretches between galaxies, Leo often paused to send messages back to Earth. Holographic letters filled with the beauty of distant nebulae, the gentle murmur of cosmic winds, and heartfelt reminders that dreams, once nurtured, had the power to bridge every divide. Through these messages, he rekindled the flames of inspiration in countless souls, urging them to look upward, to aspire, and to know that destiny awaited those brave enough to search for it among the stars. And so, as the celestial winds carried him onward in his eternal voyage, Leo, the boy who had once dreamt under a gentle Midwestern sky, became a legend in both heart and memory. His life was no longer merely a single tale, but a chapter in a saga as timeless as the stars themselves. An enduring reminder that every dream nourished in the quiet moments of wonder is a beacon in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. Long after the embers of that first interstellar encounter had faded into the annals of history, storytellers on both Earth and Lysanth recited the tale of a courageous young soul whose destiny was etched across the heavens. In every star that twinkled in the night, there was a silent echo of Leo's journey, a promise that hope, unity, and the boundless courage to follow one's dreams could surmount even the darkest of adversities. His story became a hymn, sung across galaxies, for every generation that dared to believe that the dreams of a single heart could indeed illuminate the vast, eternal night. In the intertwined fates of two worlds, a place where humanity's raw passion met an ancient cosmic wisdom, a legacy was born. And so, whenever someone looks up at the sky, they might see not just stars, but the constellation of a brave soul, forever guiding the weary traveler, forever whispering, "The cosmos awaits."